So I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful ruffled scarf using fabulous Fringe yarn. And this color is called Tons of Teal. It's just beautiful. I just love these colors. And you want to pull from the center. This is a typical netting yarn. When you open it up, you'll see that you have this adorable little picot fringe on that one side. And you have the netting on the other side like this. So to start with, you want to work in the boxes at the top. So you pull this, you stretch this out, and you want to find the first 3 boxes and fold them over the next 3 boxes. So right here I'm going to fold, and I'm going to put my hook in those 2 loops. Then I'm going to line up the next 2 loops, the corresponding loops. I think that's right here actually. Okay, this one's right here. Then I'm going in here, and then I'm going in here. I think I got 4. Just as long as you fold it over and you go through each side. You might want to go back and just cut that side a little bit. Okay, now look at the pretty color change there. I'm just going to skip 1 and then pick up the next loop. And then skip 1. I keep stretching this out. You just keep stretching and skipping 1 and picking up the other. Okay, now you have to keep unwinding your yarn also. You skip and skip, pick up, skip, pick up. Okay, I don't know how many this is for the start, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna do, you know, a whole bunch of them for just when I'm starting like that. So it should be around 8 or 10. So the very last loop I have put on my hook. I hold it down into the head of my hook. I grab the rest of them like this. I turn the head of my hook down, and I bring them, the last loop that I brought up on my hook, I bring that loop through the remaining loops on my hook, just like this. I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to bring that loop through here, just like that. Now, if you are a beginner, you can have stitch markers handy, like these, and put a stitch marker on that last loop that you just brought through. And if you, let's say you want to leave your project for a while, you can put this on there and it'll hold your stitch. So now I just leave that on there. I taught a bunch of women how to do this, and I saw a need for that. I learned that from them. So you skip the next one, pick up this one. Now I'll start counting. So you can make this, I've seen scarves made with just picking up 5 loops. And at first I thought, but when you see it done, and it was, she definitely got more than 2 scarves out of 1 skein of yarn because she was only picking up 5 loops. And it actually looks really good. And then I've seen them where they pick up 12, 14, 16 loops, and they're going to come out fuller, and your scarf is not going to be as long. But you definitely would have enough to do 12 and 14 loops. So just for this demonstration, I'm just going to show you like 10 loops. So I just picked up 1. So here's 2, and I'm skipping every other one. Okay, so here's 2. And here's 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. Okay. The last loop goes into the head of my hook here. I grab the rest of these like this. I'm pinching them from the front. And then I'm going to push all of these loops over the last loop on my hook. So I just bring it through. You want to make sure they don't catch on the inside of these loops. And you can actually use a smaller hook. The size I'm using is a K. And it might even be better to use a smaller hook. Okay, I feel like something in there is snagging. And I'm not happy with that. So I'm gonna try again. Yep, it just came through fine. Okay, so if you have trouble with that, you can always move a couple loops at one time over that last loop. Okay, now you want to have 2 stitch markers and put a stitch marker in the next loop. And then continue on. You'll skip the next one, pick up the next one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now last loop stays on your hook, and then you grab all the rest of them, including the one that has a stitch marker in it, and you pinch them together, and then you bring them over the last loop on your hook, just like that. Now you can take the first stitch marker that you placed and take it out, it's safe now, and bring it up here. And what I did here is I look back and I have 2 loops on my hook, which shouldn't be. But one of the things I look at to decide which loop doesn't belong there is I can see the colors. So the color that I just brought through, like the last loop would have been a green one. So the green one I know stays on my hook, and this one has to come over. Now if you were working with a solid color, what you would need to do is to pull on the loop on your hook to see which one pulls the working strand. So if I pull this right here, I see that it's pulling that yarn over there. So that's like a test. So this one here didn't come over, and it should have. So I'm going to move that one over. Now I'm going to place the stitch marker that I removed into that last loop that I worked, and then I'll just continue on, and I'll keep rotating these. Like the next one I'll take out is the one below this one. So I just keep rotating them. Okay, so I'm going to finish my scarf, and then I will come back. I'll show you one more time, a group of 10, and then I'm going to finish my scarf and come back and show you how to finish off. So I'm skipping, stretching this out, putting this loop on, stretching, putting this loop on, stretching. Oh, now I got into a knot. Oh my word. Knots are like puzzles sometimes. Okay, maybe that did it. Yes, did it. Nice. Okay, so there's, what do we have here? There's 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Okay, so last loop stays on the hook. Grab all of these, turn the head of the hook down, and bring that through all the loops that are on my hook. And that did the same thing where it brought through 2 loops. Actually, this one doesn't belong, and this one should come over. I know that the loop on my hook should be dark green. So the ones that aren't dark green, I'm bringing over. But then I would have, you know, I would have pulled on this to make sure if it was a solid color. Okay, so there's the next one. I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it up right here. Okay. So continue on until you get to the end, and when you get to the end, make sure that you leave about this much, and I'll show you how to finish off. I've worked the entire skein for my scarf, and it came out really beautiful. And now I am going to show you how to finish this off. So I worked it all the way down till I had about a 4-inch piece like this, and I've got the last loop on my hook here. So all I need to do is wrap that entire strand of yarn over my hook and then bring the last loop over that thick strand of yarn, just like this. And then just pull that all the way out. And that should lock it just fine like that. But if you want to have it extra protected, you could just take this and wrap this around here like this and just tie a knot with it like that. And the bottom ruffle is going to cover up that knot. So then just move the knot as close as you can to the last ruffle that you made. And then just take your scissors and cut maybe about a 1/2 inch or 1 inch out like that. And that's it. So that's how you make a ruffled scarf, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. And all this, the yarn and the hook that I used is a Dreams hook, and that's available at maggiescrochet.com. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel.